Hello there. How are you doing? Hope you're doing wonderful today, and welcome back to Enchanted Hollows Season 3, Episode 9. I hope I got that right. Let's fact check that. I was right. It's Episode 9. Welcome back to Enchanted Hollows. How you all doing? I hope you are all doing brilliant today. I have something to confess. I did a stream on Enchanted Hollows a couple of days ago. I have done a little bit of progress. Not much, just a little bit. So we're going to go and pay a little visit to what we did during that stream. Now, realistically, we didn't actually do a great deal. All we did was turn all of what was grass here into moss and come up with a few ideas for what's going to go in this area and begin building the windmill. Now, you may remember, I originally discussed this being a lighthouse. I've changed my mind. I don't want it to be a lighthouse anymore. I want it to be a windmill because a lighthouse doesn't make sense. A windmill makes more sense. So I have begun constructing that, and I started this on stream the other day. So yeah, it's starting to take shape. We're going to finish that in today's episode. I've got all of the resources in the shulk chest. We've got a little bit of moss. The moss isn't for the tower. We've got some oak logs, some spruce logs, and a little bit of cobble and some brick. So we've got all the stuff to actually do that in today's episode. And the other thing that I want to do is I actually do want to just get the decorating done around these areas. I'm going to do the crop fields off camera, and on camera we are going to just do some decorating. So in today's episode, it's not going to be a big one. We're just going to get a little bit of decoration in and get some stuff in this area, like a tree and a shed, some rocks. Anywho, let's do some windmills, shall we? I actually do have a plan for what I want this to end up looking like. Unlike the farmhouse where I kind of didn't know what I was going to do with it, I actually have plans with this build. But that doesn't mean that we ain't going to be experimenting with stuff. I still want to do a little bit of experimenting. So there's a few possible ideas that I want to try with regards to this roof. So one of the ideas is just going to be plain and simple oak planks. This is aimed at hopefully resembling the farmhouse a little bit. Or at least a little bit more than what we did have. And then having this be the continuation of the structural support. That's kind of wall type number one. So the idea being that it's got sort of these structural beams, and then it's got the oak wood. Another alternative idea, which we're going to model over here, is actually going to be using the spruce for that bit, and then stripped oak for this bit, and then doing that as sort of the window, and then those would continue up, maybe. I decided that the best logical course of action was to get a friend to come and figure this out and help us decide which wall we were going to use. So, introducing Kian.
I think I like this side more because it makes the bricks less atrocious. Like, this side looks better with the brick.
Yeah, I mean, the brick is kind of a placeholder anyways.
Yes, definitely this side.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's...
Woo.
Kian then invited us to go and visit his base. So, here is our first look on this channel at what Kian's been building this season. It's really awesome. Whoa. I think this might actually be the biggest thing built on the server so far. This is huge. It's like a giant battle arena.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is at the minute because I haven't spawn-proofed the top. Because I kind of didn't bring torches. This is what I mean.
Well, they're all zombies,
Like,
which is the weird thing. Oh, that's not a zombie. That's a creeper. Dangerous.
Yeah, this is what happens when I spend more than 4 seconds up here. But do you want to see something really fun?
Go on.
Just,
Ow.
you just walk over here. Welcome to the forest of nighttime.
Wow. Holy moly. Okay, let's get back to windmills now, shall we? Enough distractions.
I'm here to watch.
I'm here to place blocks.
I'm gonna
And
fill you with absolute dread as I watch you place every block and make every mistake.
well, I'm going to place blocks. And for those of you watching at home, we're going to do a speedy, fast time lapse so that you don't have to sit here and actually watch me place all of these blocks, because that would take probably hours. I am maybe the slowest builder on the server. Let's go! And I'm back. That took actually not that long. That wasn't too bad, I don't think. But look, we've done a thing. We built a thing. I said we. I built a thing. You were just here. But look, a thing. Now, you may be wondering, oh, Duck Boy, isn't there supposed to be, like, sails? Is that what it's called on a windmill? Probably. They're supposed to be like sails, and I answer your question with yes, but I don't own wool, so we're gonna buy that, and hopefully we're gonna have wool in the next episode, so we can do that. If we take a slow falling potion, too high, go back down. We just have a look. I'm pretty happy with this build. I'm not gonna lie. There's a little bit of texturing we can do to the base, to the cobblestone bit, but overall I quite like it.
I think it's pretty good. I think it will look better once the blades are done.
Yeah, that is true.
But I do think it looks good.
Yippee! I'm going to put off doing the actual inside of the building until next episode, because I'm going to put off the inside of the farm until next episode as well. So we'll do them both in the same episode. But yeah, so this is a little windmill. We've still got to do a few more finishing touches around the area that the windmill's in. So we need to put a wall around the outside. We're basically just going to do one of these cobblestone walls that we've got over here around that bit. We're going to do the inside of that in the next episode alongside that. So we're going to do both the interiors in the next episode, and then we'll be done for this area. And now we can turn our attention to, I guess, getting that wall done, and then maybe doing some of the decorating around the farm. And then we'll be done for the farms. We can now turn our attention to building a wall, specifically a cobblestone wall. Let's go do that. And by let's go do that, I mean I'm going to smash my face against the windmill and it's suddenly going to be done, because I'm going to cut this bit so you guys don't have to watch that. Here we go! Do you ever just, like, lose track of time and just sit there watching a podcast, or in my case, watching Grian play D&D, and just start placing blocks and just, well, do things? Because I did that. Look at how much more moss there is here now. I have mossed this entire area and this bit here. I just kind of sat and decided I'd get it done. It took a couple of hours. I think about an hour and a half-ish, roughly. But I got it done, and honestly, it wasn't nearly as painful as I was expecting it to be. That went rather well. We can now set our attention to actually decorating this area. We can do the stuff that we want to do. So, I'm not too sure what I want to do in that big area. I'm thinking maybe a forest of some sorts. That could be a good idea to go in that bit, but I'm not set on that just yet. So, let me know what you think could go in that bit, but we are getting kind of close to where the walls are going to be, because I want the walls to the kingdom to start around this general area here. So we are getting kind of close to where they're going to be. It might be a good idea for us to plan where they are going to go and get that done at some point. But for the rest of this episode, we're just going to do some decorating. We're just going to do a little bit here and there. And I think we're going to start with this bit here because I already know what I want to do here. So I want to have a tree in this bit with maybe a bench next to it. And then a little bit ways over here, I want to have a shed in this bit and some bushes around this area. So not massively complicated and shouldn't take too long to build at all. So I don't want it to be too big of a tree, really. I think organics is definitely an area of Minecraft I need to get better at. Because it's not necessarily something I struggle with, per se. Definitely not something I'm amazing at. It does just sometimes feel very much like I am just placing blocks and hoping. Which is not a good building tactic. Okay, I like that. And then we just need leaves to plaster all over it. Which I think, or at least I hope, we've still got some leaves left over here. Come on, leaves. Come on. Gotta be. Oh, that's not enough. That might be enough. I doubt it, knowing tree building and how many stacks upon stacks of leaves I used last season. That wasn't even a good tree. That was like it was a pretty bad tree. I'm gonna be clear about that. The tree last season was awful. I don't hate it. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not upset with how this tree has come out, and that's a good sign. Ah, it's a nice little tree. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with that tree. It's come out quite a little bit better than what I was anticipating, actually. A tree! Yippee! So, we just need to add a few more finishing touches under the tree. And with some leaf litter, we could maybe do some packed dirt too. Some dandelions or something, or maybe some of the wildflowers. Right, let's start by getting in the packed mud. That feels like a good start. How has that helped this area? Uh, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Now that we've done the packed mud, time for some leaves. I think this area could maybe do with a few bushes. Do bushes, like, do leaves still need logs in order to survive? I'm gonna guess so. There we are, we've got one little bush in. We'll do an even smaller one. Yeah, I think the two bushes have done a good job of bringing that area to life a little bit. And finally, some flowers. Has that helped? I think it's done a good enough job in this area. I think maybe the lack of any yellow back here is causing some issues. So maybe we could take you from here and move them over there, kind of thing. But all in all, I'm quite happy with that little bit. Now we can set our attention to building the shed, and we can actually get that in. So I think for the shed, I mean, I just want it to be. I don't want it to be too complex. I think literally just a shed It's a small shed. There we are. Look at that. Our shed is now a thing. Lovely. We could maybe get a bush there. And a bush in that bit. And then this little bit will be fully decorated. Yeah, so I'm very good at this whole YouTube thing. And I didn't record me making the bushes. I just sat there in silence. So here's the bushes done. Ah, look at that. Okay. We did it. We completed one of the little pockets that we need to decorate. Ah, it looks awesome. I'm so happy with that. You know what? I feel like this bit looks a bit empty, but I don't want to put a bush there. Instead, I want to put a rock at that bit. So we're gonna have to head over back to where we store all of our stone, which is all the way up there, without any rockets. We're all out. And go and get some stone. Right, I grabbed myself some stone, and I even grabbed some andesite, because I think we can add a little bit of texture to the little rock. So I think I kind of just want to do sort of that general shape, and then add a little snippet of andesite. And you know what? I mean, these things aren't perfectly flat, so maybe it's fallen into the ground just a little bit. It's sunk a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. A little rock to add to that little bit of scenery. And I'm gonna say that that bit is done. That is such a nice little section of the farm. It's really tying together just this entire area. It looks so good now. And you know what? I think we're gonna put a rock here as well. I've been visited by Dwayne. Yeah. This area is really starting to come together, and I'm really happy with what the farm is starting to look like. I think here can be a rock as well. Now, I'm not really too sure what I want to do in that middle bit and that bit there. I know here I want a big boulder kind of thing. Like I want a decent sized boulder. I think maybe like that big, with a few smaller boulders dotted around it. And you know what? I think this is... How did I dig that far out? I think this is a perfect example of where it should go into the ground a little bit, because of how big this boulder is. Yeah, so that's our bigger boulder. And then we'll just have like smaller one there. And another smaller one maybe. Here. And finally a really small there. I think just one block actually probably does the job just as well. Maybe we just do that to it. Yeah, that has broken up that bit of the landscape at least. I don't know what I want to do with this bit. I was originally going to put a tree, but I don't know if another tree would make sense. Because we've got the tree there. Would having another tree here be good? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. We can discuss that one, and we can figure that bit out. And over here, in this bit, I want another big boulder. But I want this one to be even bigger than the one over there. Yeah, I like that. That looks okay. And then I think going along that bit, I'm going to have a forest. But we're going to have to do that in the next episode, I think, because I don't have the tree designed at the moment. So that can be the final thing that we're going to do in the next episode once we've done the interior of these two buildings. So we'll do the forest going along that bit. I think that is just about it for today's episode, guys. We have done so much. This episode has been a really good one. It doesn't look as if we've done as much as in previous episodes, because obviously what we've done is a bit smaller. We've built the windmill and we've built like the decorating near where the shed is and those rocks there. But in the grand scheme of things, what we've done today is quite a bit smaller. But that is going to be it for today's episode. I do hope you have enjoyed. I most certainly have. It's been an awful lot of fun. Without further ado, thank you all very much for watching. I have been Duckboy. You guys have been awesome. Never forget that. On screen now, there is a little bit of a graphic. Thank you to the Patreon supporters for making this silly little dream of mine a reality. You guys support the channel way more than anyone actually has to, and it means the world to me. So thank you. And if you would like to know how to support, go to the links down below. We have Patreon, of course. We also have Discord and donations, and also a few other fancy links down there as well. Feel free to go and pay those a visit if you would like. But without further ado, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Duckboy. You guys have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good.